to the channel better than ever. There's news on WWE Hell in the Cell. The main event for Hell in the Cell is still unknown, and if Charlotte and Sasha Banks still get their shot as the main event. Welcome to Wrestling Talk Show's Creative Conversation, guys. Let's get into the news. The article is below in the description for you guys below. Now, it should come out to no real surprise that the women's division in WWE is currently at a height of its popularity and has more talent than has been seen in a very long time. The NXT women coming up to the main roster over the past year have really changed things and turned up into many notches. As the division becomes even greater, that leads many to ask certain questions, and one of them is if the battle for the WWE Women's title really main event Hell in a Cell. Now, the biggest is going to see Kevin Owens put his Universal title on the line against Seth Rollins, and many feel as if the match is main event material. Well, we saw it the first time, but ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to see Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins as the main event match of the night. You know, I'm going to have to disagree on that. You know, even if it's main event, even people say, well, it's main event material. Okay, maybe it is, maybe it's not. Okay, maybe people want to see it, maybe people don't want to see it. But in my honest opinion, I want to see Sasha Banks and Charlotte because they're going to be they're going to be inside a Hell in a Cell. These two women, okay, future Hall of Famers down the road, Sasha Banks and Charlotte, man, they have a history. It all started down at NXT. That's where it started. That's where it began. Sasha and Charlotte had feuds down there. And then they shot up to the main roster. And now look what they're going. Listen, I'm not a fan of Charlotte, but I respect her, though. She is a hard worker. I'm not a fan of her. But when you put Sasha Banks and Charlotte, you get a good match. You're going to get a good outcome. You're going to get a good show between both women. Rather, you don't like this one. Rather, you say Sasha Banks is better. Or Charlotte is better than Sasha Banks. Or Charlotte's finisher is better than Sasha Banks' finisher. Okay? It goes both. It doesn't matter because you got two awesome, talented wrestlers, you know, that are female wrestlers, okay, that are so talented. It's like watching Lita and Trish Stratus all over again. Now, this will be the first time it's been in a Hell in a Cell match. So I wouldn't want WWE to go and do this because, you know, what happens if something happens to Charlotte? What happens if something happens to Sasha Banks and her career's done? Or, you know, she can't wrestle, she can't perform, she can't do anything now. You know, putting, you know, two women in a Hell in a Cell, first off, is definitely a risk. You're taking a chance, and WWE likes to go and do that sometimes. They like to go and take a chance to see if it's going to work. Because, like I said, it's the first time WWE has done this, and it's never happened, it's never took place, and these are the first two women that are actually going to do something. This could actually go down in the history books as one of the greatest matches that the female wrestlers had in WWE. This could go in the history books. If this is a good outcome, and this is booked right, and the match is phenomenal, the match is good, this will go in as, this could steal the show, basically. Okay? Now, I don't think we're going to see bleeding between these two, between Sasha and Charlotte. I don't think we're going to see any blood, but we're going to be definitely seeing sweat. We're going to see aggressiveness. We're going to be people seeing fighting hard because the title is going to be on the line. And in my opinion, it should be the main event. I would definitely put this as the main event because, like I said, Charlotte and Sasha Banks, they have a history between each other. Now, a few days ago, and the people are saying the reason why Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins is not the main event is because it's not in a Hell in a Cell. Now, I wouldn't want to see Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens in a Hell in a Cell match. I don't think it would be a good match. I think it would be boring. I don't think it would be a good outcome. I don't think it would be that good as a wrestling match. They're good performers. They're good in the ring, but having those two in Hell in the Cell, I really don't think it would be a good match for the last match of the night. Now, a few days ago, Mick Foley posted on Facebook that Sasha Banks and Charlotte's battle for the WWE Women's title inside Hell in the Cell would main event next Sunday. The wrestling word was thrown on its head as a huge proclamation was thrown out of them. Now, as pointed out by WWE, by What Culture, they have a YouTube thing as well. Just a few hours after making his original announcement, Mick Foley edited it. The general manager of Monday Night Raw took out this part about the women being in the main event and said that the final card won't even likely be set until the just hours before the event starts. So, they don't know what to do. They don't know what the decision should be. They don't know if it's going to be Rollins and Kevin Owens. They don't know if that should be the main event or if it's going to be Sasha Banks and Charlotte. They don't know what the main event's going to be. Let me answer that for you, WWE, right now. If you want to have a good show and you want someone who's going to steal the show at Hell in a Cell, it's going to be Charlotte and Sasha Banks. They're going to steal the show. They're going to make an impact for the wrestling fans. Okay, this is good for the women's division right now for WWE Monday Night Raw. This could go out with a bang. Okay, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I would pay to go watch this match live in Boston. It's going to be in Massachusetts, so I'm looking forward to it, guys. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Charlotte, man, but this match, man, is definitely worth as the main event of the night. Because that's going to draw people in. That's the match that people want to see, and that's the match that people want to watch, and that's the match that people want to see as the main event. Book it as the main event, simple as that. So, ladies and gentlemen, what should be the main event at Hell in a Cell? Okay, should it be Charlotte and Sasha Banks as the main event inside Hell in a Cell? At Hell in a Cell? Or should it be Kevin Owens and Rollins as the main event at Hell in a Cell? Let me know in the comments below. I definitely want your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions, guys, below. Until then, subscribe to the channel to get more wrestling episodes, guys. Until then, hit that like button for me as well if you enjoyed today's episode and if you guys liked it. Until then, articles below. Until then, guys, I'll see you on the next show. Subscribe.